Let's consider the following system of equations. We're going to complete this puzzle to describe two different correct strategies for solving this system. So we're going to look at this system right here. And these are our choices of what we can put into the blanks as we move on. So strategy number one says that we are going to multiply the bottom equation by 1. Okay, well, I'm down with that. So I'm going to put my plan bar. There's my plan bar. And I'm going to multiply that one by 1, which just means that that isn't going to change at all. But then the next step, multiply the top equation by something to eliminate x. So I want to get rid of my x. What will I multiply? What's my plan to multiply the top number so I can get rid of x? Well, you have to look at what's the bottom x look like? That says positive 2. So if I wanted to get rid of the positive 2, I would have to multiply the top. Whoops. I'd have to multiply the top by negative 2. Right? Negative 2. Now, let's do that. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Okay? Negative 2 times y is negative 2y. And negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. All right. And then let's see here. The bottom one, since we're multiplying it by 1, meaning it doesn't change it at all. Okay. Now, when we go to combine our equations, right, we add the two equations together. These x's cancel each other out, and we can multiply negative 2y and negative 3y to make negative 5y. And negative 8 combined with positive 3 is negative 5. Now, to find out what y is, we divide by negative 5 on both sides of our equation. These cancel each other out, and I'm left with y equals negative 5 divided by negative 5, which is 1. Beautiful. So now we found out what y is. Y is 1. So that step is done. And then our last step for this strategy, strategy 1, is to substitute this value that we found for y back into the equation to find out what x is. So I'm going to take this equation right there, x plus y equals 4. X plus y, which is 1, equals 4. And to do this super algebra-like, we're going to subtract 1 from each side. And x equals 4 minus 1, which is 3. 3. Look at that. Beautiful work, all done with strategy 1. Okay, well, strategy 2 wants us to do something slightly different. So here's what I'm going to do. We're going to erase everything that we did from strategy 1 because we're not going to use that strategy anymore. And I don't have room on the screen for it. So hopefully you are following along really closely. Okay. Now let's try something else. Strategy 2 says we're going to multiply the bottom equation by 1. Well, that didn't change anything. It doesn't change anything in that equation, but we're going to multiply the top equation by something to eliminate the y. So what do we have to multiply the top equation by to eliminate our y value, our y variables? Well, let's see, the bottom y variable is negative 3y. So I think we need to multiply the top by positive 3. So that's the plan. So let's carry it out over here. X times 3 is 3x. X times y is 3y. And x times 4 is 12. And the bottom equation stays exactly the same. Don't go changing to try to please me. Never mind. Old Billy Joel song. Now, when I go to combine these things, oh, that's going to be on the video. I get positive 3y and negative 3y that cancel each other out. So the y's disappear. And so we multiplied, by 3. I almost forgot to write that down. Multiply the top equation by 3. Now, 3x plus 2x is 5x. And 12 plus 3 is 15. Divide both sides by 5 to isolate the variable x. And x equals 15 divided by 5, which is 3. So x equals 3. And we already knew that was because we used strategy 1 and we found the exact same thing. But now let's take that and put it back into our first equation, substitute it in. X plus y equals 4. X, which is 3, plus y equals 4. 3 times some number equals 4. Well, we'll use our super algebra skills, one-step equation solving, and y equals 4 minus 3, which is 1. So the solution to our equation, when we're all done, is 3, 1. And we did it 2 different ways and came up with the same answer both times. It's amazing. All right. Well, with that, then let's move on to the next question. On the next page, page 438. Page 438. All right. It says to solve each of the following systems using linear combination. So we're going to use our linear combination skills. Here we go. X plus 2y equals 9 in letter A. X plus 2y equals 9, and x minus 2y equals 4. Oh, well, this is one of those simple ones where we don't have to do any manipulating, right? This is one where you just walk in and it's practically done for you. Because positive 2y and negative 2y, they're just going to cancel each other out right away. Beautiful. So they're gone. And then we combine our x's and we get 2x equals 9 added to 4 is 13. Okay, well, now we divide both sides by 2. And 2 divided by 2, that gives us just x, 1x. So 13 halves. And I'm going to leave it just like that. X equals 13 halves. There's nothing wrong with that fraction. Improper fractions are a beautiful thing. But now I am going to substitute that 13 halves into one of my equations to solve for y. So check it out. X plus 2y equals 9. Okay. 13 halves plus 2y equals 9. And remember, if you have a question, all you have to do is type a question mark into the chat, and I will stop what I'm doing and address your question. So, and I bet you're probably going, but there's a fraction. I hate fractions. Remember what I showed you a while back about when you've got a fraction in an equation, how you can easily manipulate the equation to get rid of it? You multiply the entire equation by the denominator, or the common denominator if there's more than one fraction that's in the equation. In this case, it's 2. So 2 times 13 over 2, basically all that does is get rid of your denominator. So the 13 is there when you multiply that. Now I'm going to multiply 2 times 2y, which would be 4y, and 2 times 9 is 18. Now check it out. Hang with me here. I'm going to subtract 13 from both sides. Zip, zip. And I get 4y equals 18 minus 13 is 5. And now I divide both sides by 4. And y equals 5/4. And remember, like I said, there's no problem with having an improper fraction there. So when we're all said and done, our answer, our solution, and you can always go back and check to make sure that that's correct by substituting, is 13 over 2 and 5 over 4 in an ordered pair, surrounded by parentheses. Remember, when you enter your answers, into the forms documents. Always put the parentheses and write it as an ordered pair in alphabetical order. All right, well, let's take a look at the next one. Letter B. X plus y equals 9, and x minus 2y equals 4. Now, the problem with this one is that we can't just combine them and eliminate one of our variables. We have to do something first. We have to manipulate one of the equations. Now, you're probably looking at it going, you know what? There are a couple of different things we could do. Let's try multiplying the top equation by 2, right? Because if I do that, I should be able to eliminate my y variables and solve for x. So let's get started. 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times y is 2y, and 2 times 9 is 18. Okay. Now the bottom one, I don't have to do anything. I could say, well, I'm going to multiply it by 1. Well, that just means nothing changes. Okay, so x minus 2y equals 4. Now, when I go to combine them, 2y and negative 2y cancel each other out, and I get 3x equals 18, and 4 is 22. Okay, divide both sides by 3, and x equals 22 thirds. Okay, and remember, like I said, there's nothing wrong with an improper fraction. Now, I can take that x and substitute it back into my original equation. X plus y equals 9. 22 thirds plus y equals 9. And solve for y. And remember, I can multiply everything in this equation by the denominator that's in my fraction, so I can get rid of that fraction. 3 times 22 thirds is 22. 3 times y is 3y. And 3 times 9 is 27. All right. Gonna subtract 22 from both sides. And 3y equals 27 minus 22, which is 5. Now all I have to do is divide by 3. Those cancel out, and y is equal to 5 thirds. And it's okay to have that improper fraction for my answer. Yes, we're almost out of time. So my total answer is 22 thirds, 5 thirds. All right. Now, as you can see, these are reinforced questions. These are things that you can do after I've already walked you through everything. So I'm going to leave this last one for you to do on your own, along with the remainder of the assignment in your book. Make sure that you check the forms document and do the best job you can. Make your best attempt. And if you have questions, bring them to class next time.